Awesome. So, hi everyone. I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. Thank you so much, Ashwini. Okay. So, what I want to talk about today are non-tech career opportunities in Web3. So, we had a separate session where we specifically spoke about the tech options in Web3. Then we had one which spoke about the finance options. Well, today we are going to talk about other options other than finance and tech. So, I've opened up something called web3.career. That's one of the best sites that I found when it comes to job listings. So, I'm just sharing the URL also with you guys. So you can open it up on your own screens if you want. So first, let's just look at the kind of salary options that are there. So it'll give you a good idea. Now, I'm not saying all these salary options are available remotely. So the remote ones may be a little lower than, say, the average. But we can anyway see here we have the minimum and maximum. Now, when we look at averages, there's product manager about 117K. This is US dollars per year. Project manager is about 97. Finance we'll ignore. Then we have design, marketing, sales, community manager, and social media. So these are the kind of career options that are available. And now, of course, we'll go slightly deeper into some of them. But if you look at it from the salary perspective, obviously the highest is the product manager. And the next step is project manager. And then you would, of course, be choosing not based on the salaries, but on based on what your skills are. So obviously, what kind of qualifications you have, what kind of work experience you have. Now, if you have a look at the first one, that's the product manager jobs. So there's a good number. There's about 1,100 jobs just listed on this one site, and then there are so many other sites also. So, I mean, if you just randomly go into one of them, so suppose in product, let's go into the head of product. Of course, that's a senior level position, but it'll kind of give you an idea about what product managers do. So here you can see that what are the kind of things that you would be doing. So you would be building and managing a team of product managers, engineers, designers. So it's a senior level position. So obviously means you're going to be heading that particular thing. If you are junior, then obviously a lot of this may not apply to you. Now, when you look at the kind of job role, it's more generic in nature. So it's more about managing a bunch of people and strategizing. So for example, here one of the things is to develop the product roadmap for the organization and to manage multiple products. So it's more generic and more suitable for somebody who's got, like, say, a management MBA kind of a background with quite a few years of experience. Any questions on this particular role? Any doubts you have, or anyone already has some kind of experience in this field before, if you'd like to share something? Okay. The second one is the project manager, where here you see the jobs are a little lesser. There's about 290. Now here usually you will find it is a technical project manager in most cases. So you have technical and then you have web project managers, or then you would have, say, a UX project manager. Now I'll just go into one of them. So let's go into tech project, and why I'm specifically going here is because it's Web3 and it's a remote kind of an opportunity. So when you look at the role here, so you can read this part here. So you will be managing various aspects, definitely. And then there are some generic ones, like if you look at the second one. So you're going to be reading specifications, analyzing documents, creating project plans, determining timelines. Then if you look here. So it's again a little generic in nature, very, very similar to what we saw in the product role. So the product and project roles have a lot of generic skills that are required. And again, this is kind of more suitable, say, for an MBA kind of a guy. But also here you would need to have good experience with SDLC, software development lifecycle management, Agile, Scrum, Kanban. So these are quite some of the standard things that you need to have. Other than that, there are not very specific requirements. I mean, you don't need to be qualified in anything like tech and all that. It's more generic in nature. And of course, for this particular role, you have to have SDLC, Agile, Scrum, and Kanban. Any kind of questions on this? Let me check out some of the questions. PM and Web3 is, yeah, sure, it's definitely very different. Okay, so Ramakrishna's question is about freshers for product manager. So for freshers, you'd kind of have to start with internships and then you'd be able to get in. So obviously you won't become a product manager to begin with. You'd start with interning and then you'd maybe become assistant and then move forward. Akshit says PM in Web3 is very different. Actually, no, not very different. See, ultimately, whether it's a product or a project, right? It doesn't make a difference what the tech is. Whether you're doing it for Web3 or you're doing it for a conventional technology, that doesn't make any difference. It's just that maybe in Web3 you will interact with a different set of teams, but fundamentally they're still the same products and projects. I hope that answers your question, Akshit. Uh, Someone from LinkedIn says, I want to invite you for a blockchain event in Allahabad. Okay. So I don't do live events as in physical, but if it's online, I mean, I'm always ready. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn and tell me what the product is about. Tejas says, I thought this was for non-tech. Yes, Tejas, it is for non-tech. So we've seen the first two job ops, they don't really require any kind of tech background. So like I said, they just require SDLC, that software development life cycle, and Scrum and Agile. That's not really tech. It's just that you understand how these products are built. Akshit says the data points for making product decisions are less, and thus you should have a deep knowledge about your product domain. Well, yes, over a period of time, definitely you're expected to have more domain. But then again, Web3 is fairly new. So there is a lack of people with many years of experience in that. See, Web3 as a concept itself is not very old. So you can't expect to have people with 10-year experience. Everyone is new to it because the field itself is pretty new. Ritesh says, in case of product project manager profiles, would there be a difference for people having tech background? So Ritesh, it depends. So in the job profile itself, if they mention, like if we scroll down here, so no, they've not mentioned that. So specifically, if they are going to give a benefit to people with a tech background, then they write it. They always would say that if you're from a particular background, it's a bonus or a plus. If they don't mention it, then it doesn't really matter to them. Sumit says, if it's generic, why call it technical PM role? Yeah, Sumit, that's a good point. I mean, they're just designations, right? So different companies go for different designations. So sometimes you find where even the designation would say technical role, but when you actually look at it, it's a very generic thing in nature. So maybe that's just how they call that role. Is this Web3 your job site genuine, Vaibhav? Yeah, Vaibhav, this is one of the most popular sites, and you have to pay to get your job posting listed here. And a lot of very good people also use it, like Binance posts jobs here. Even the Ethereum Foundation posts jobs here. Now, I don't think it gets any more genuine than Binance and Ethereum when it comes to the Web3 world. So if they are also posting jobs here, I mean, I think it's fairly good. And they're not really asking you as an applicant to pay money. So no, I don't really, I mean, I think it's a very genuine one. Of course, there are other sites also that I've mentioned earlier and I'll just show it to you. So for example, I'll be discussing this later, but these are the sites that I think are pretty good. So one is web3.career. Another is called cryptocurrencyjobs.co. There's remote3.co. There's LinkedIn, of course, Indeed, Fiverr, and Upwork. So I would say personally, I find Web3 as one of the best in this. Let me see what other questions you have. As a fresher, is it better to go with a PM or project manager role? So I would say both are good. I mean, it depends which one you can crack. So try for both. From LinkedIn, someone says, I have 10 years experience in finance. How can I enter Web3 jobs? I'm from co-finance area background. Okay. So if you're from finance, then today's session is not really the relevant one for you. The one we did last week, in that we specifically spoke about finance careers. So I think that would be better for you. And I'm also going to be doing another session, which is called building a career in token economics. So maybe that's next week or next to next week. You can just check out my streams. So from finance, I think that would be better for you. Ashwin's question is, how much weight do Web3 companies give for blockchain enthusiasm as opposed to sheer experience? For example, 15 years of legal finance expertise versus 5 years of expertise plus deep knowledge. So Ashwin, the problem with knowledge is how do you prove it? So when you talk about your enthusiasm or knowledge, it has to be provable, correct? So that means the company should have some way of knowing that yes, you've actually done this kind of study or you have this knowledge. So that's where I think that doing certifications would help. So you need to be able to prove to them that you have that level of knowledge. Experience is easy to prove because you're going to have a letter from wherever you worked for. So that's the kind of problem that could arise here. That's why I also always recommend that, make sure you post regularly on LinkedIn, and if you give deep, high value posts, then over a period of time, you will develop a lot of credibility in the field. So you need to prove that. That's important. Then let's have a look at yeah, design jobs. So now in design also, I mean, there are tons of them, 1400 plus jobs which are available. Now, when we talk about design, there are lots of different aspects that come in. So one is, of course, there is graphic design, then there is brand managers, then there are brand designers, UI, UX, which comes in. Now, when it comes to designing for Web3, again, I don't really believe it is very different from designing for anything else because, see, ultimately, as a UX or UI designer, I mean, you're either designing a user experience or a user interface. It is for users, right? Now, the users are different people, but who uses Web3? Ultimately, again, it is the same bunch of people. The same people using a mobile banking application are very likely to use a crypto application also, right? So you have to understand your audience and then you have to be able to design for them. But yeah, I see a lot of UI UX designers being needed more because it is very important, especially in Web3, to make things easy to understand. Now in Web3, a lot of normal people get very confused because it's so complicated. So it is very important in Web3 to make the user interface more and more intuitive so that people who are new to the industry can also follow and figure out what to do. So like if you look at some of the very popular crypto exchanges, their sites and apps are actually very complicated to use. So unless you've got a lot of experience with, say, technical trading, analyzing all those, you sometimes get very confused with what is happening. So, but some exchanges on the other hand are simple to use. So I think that becomes more critical. So I would say one of the simplest, I would say in terms of Web3 product would probably be the MetaMask wallet itself. I mean, I'm a big fan of it, and I think it's designed to be usable by someone very new to Web3 also. What do you guys think? I mean, which is your favorite in terms of interface or experience? Would someone like to share that? In the meanwhile, let me take some more questions. Okay. Uh, Deepak says, what is the scope for independent consultation? Yeah, Deepak, that's a very good question. So that is something I do a lot, right? I do a lot of independent consultation. So I am part of a project called Hybrid Finance Blockchain, but I also do take a lot of freelance consulting roles. So that's very good. So because what happens is there are many people in our industry today who are working on one project, but you also do have the time or the inclination to help other projects. So I think having a consulting role is a very good thing today. And the opportunity is quite good. Just make sure you don't overprice or underprice. Overpricing means you lose out on jobs. Underpricing means you're not taken seriously enough. In fact, I think sometimes it is better to overprice rather than underpricing your services. So try to look around what are the things that people of your level in terms of experience, in terms of knowledge are charging, and then you can figure out the pricing level. But just remember, confidentiality is very important. So don't go about telling people who your clients are because it's confidential. A lot of clients don't want it to be known what they're doing in the field. So maintain that discretion. Hope that answers your question, Deepak. Parinay says, are there opportunities for fresher freelance? One second, gone up again. Yeah, fresher freelance content writers. As of now, I'm building a portfolio. So Parinay, that's a good question. So as a freelance writer, usually 1 rupee a word is what you start with. 2 rupees a word is considered slightly more senior. If you get more and more experience, so if you're writing a white paper, then you don't obviously charge based on words, right? The per word kind of a thing, okay, would probably apply for the regular posts. But when it comes to things like white papers or analysis of cryptos and all, that time please don't charge per word. You can charge a much higher amount. But yeah, there are a lot of opportunities for that. So 2 rupees a word is a good thing to charge. Ashwin says, does writing papers help? Definitely it helps. So the more tech your paper is or the more research oriented, definitely it builds a lot of credibility. Make sure you publish these papers on multiple research sites also so that other people can also find it. Not just on social media. Of course, LinkedIn is important, but then also put it on other sites. What is the career path of a blockchain consultant? Is it tech? So Vaibhav, that's a good question. But see, there is no real role called a blockchain consultant. I mean, because we usually would say a Web3 consultant because then we'll be able to advise on the entire thing. See, blockchain will not include decentralized storage. It will not include front end, back end, UI, UX, so many other things. So usually a Web3 guy is the person who would know all the different pieces of the puzzle and would be able to help a company to put all those pieces together. Hope that answers your question, Weber. Bhupendra says, any preferred qualification for entry level in PM because I have a normal BA. So not really, I'm not aware of anything specific you would need for PM, but there are some certifications that you could do for project management. Those would definitely help you, Bhupendra. From one sec, just give me a second. Let me stop sharing since I'm answering a whole bunch of questions. From LinkedIn, someone's asked, I'm working in a blockchain-based service provider. I have some knowledge on this technology. How can I build? Okay, so whoever this person is, can you tell me that currently what is your knowledge level in this technology? So what I would strongly recommend is, go through the video that we did on the tech careers in this. So in that, I've gone into great detail. I've also written some posts on it, like what is the role, skills, and salary of a tech guy in Web3. So in that, again, Web3, we've divided into front end, full stack, and back end. So once you look at that, I think you'll be able to get an answer to your question. All of these are available on my Insta, so you can just go through them. From LinkedIn, another question is, are there good paying jobs in India as a blockchain developer for freshers? Yes, there are, but don't restrict yourself to India. I would say go for remote jobs. Preferably try to get a job with an American or European company. They would pay much higher and the politics is much lesser. I'm sorry to have to say this, but yeah, that's the fact. A remote job is probably much better. Yeah. So even though you're based in India, don't look for Indian jobs, look for remote jobs. Hope that answers your question. Okay. From LinkedIn again, I'm actually pursuing my college. Can I come into this blockchain field? And I'm learning Solidity. Yes, of course. In fact, it's a very good time for you to get in. So here again, build up your credibility. So you look at the list which I have put. Always remember that whatever you are learning, learn from the job point of view. Because many people who teach are going to teach you from a theoretical point of view. That's not important. What you've got to do is read the actual posts for jobs put by the startups and then make sure you learn exactly like that. So what are the skills that they require? Well, those are the skills that you actually need to learn. Trust wallet. So, oh yeah, okay. So Vishesh says Trust wallet. Yeah, Trust wallet again, I think is a very well-designed product. Very easy to use. So yeah, that's a well-designed product. Yagnadeep says Phantom is better than MetaMask with UI UX. Okay, Yagnadeep, honestly, I don't remember having used. Phantom is the wallet for Solana, right? Let me have a look at it and I'll tell you how I liked it. Yeah, in fact, Solana, I like, there's something called Sol Minter, which they have. That again has a very good UI UX. Okay. What are the possible applications of data science in Web3? Yeah, sure. That's an interesting question. So, so what happens in Web3? Usually the data is going to be decentralized storage. So whether you're using things like, Filecoin, SiaCoin, and so many other projects, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether the data is on a centralized cloud or a decentralized. That doesn't make a difference to a data scientist. The data scientist has to know, okay, this is the data and this is what I need to do with it. So there's no difference here, right? When it comes to data science, I don't see much of a difference between blockchain and non-blockchain use cases. I mean, the kind of data may be different, the quantum may be different, but there's nothing specific about it. It depends on what the product is or what is the use case that you're talking about. As a data scientist, that's more important to you. Of course, then again, in blockchain, we see that we have, say, blockchain explorers, which you can connect to, or then we also have, data being stored in decentralized storage. Then in blockchain, we also see data being stored, like smart contracts are also considered data. So Ethereum would natively be holding smart contract code. So that's one kind of data, which is quite different. Then you have the metadata. Then you have actual data like files and videos and images relating to an NFT. That is something you would put on an Arweave or any other decentralized storage. So there are lots of very different kinds of data in our industry. I hope that answered your question. Weber, what is the career path for blockchain consultant? Oh, I think we answered that already. Someone's asked how to build metaverse. Well, that's a very good question. I actually don't know the answer to that. I have not built a metaverse or not. I'm really part of it, but it requires a lot of AR, VR, augmented reality, virtual reality, a lot of technologies to come together. But unfortunately, I'm not the right person to answer that question. I've not really worked in that. Karthik says, I'm a tech guy, but I want to look into non-tech career in blockchain domain. Okay, sure. So Karthik, like I said, just go to Web3 careers, the first link I shared, and look at the kind of job opportunities available. Then you could kind of try to shortlist. Personally, I'm quite bullish on the token economics space, and I'm going to be doing a lot of action in that. I'm going to do some sessions for you guys, and I'm also building a certification program in the area of token economics. So if you guys are interested in that, we can definitely connect. Okay, we already answered Karthik's question. Uh, Ashwini says, what courses would you suggest for non-tech roles in Web3? So Ashwini, that would actually depend upon what is it that you want to do in Web3. So like I discussed, there's product management, project manager, there's finance, there's design, marketing, sales, community manager, social media. So it depends on what of these you want to do. So when it comes to things like community management, social media, then you need to be good in digital marketing. So for that, I'm sure you have a whole bunch of certifications, or there's a lot of things you can learn even without a certification. If you want to do sales and marketing, naturally an MBA would be of very good use. If you want to do design, I'm sure there must be good certifications in that. Even the NIDs and all run a lot of courses in there. So, and then again in project management, you have a lot of institutions who run certifications. So Ashwini, your answer would depend upon which non-tech field you actually want to go for. Ganesh says, I'm a CA and CISA. Okay, your question suddenly seems to have vanished. Okay, I found it. So Ganesh says he's a CA and CISA aspirant. So Ganesh, if you are already a CA, then I would say look at the finance roles that are available. So, you know, there are usually two kinds of roles. One is in token economics and one is called DeFi analyst. So we covered this in the previous session. So you could go, the recording is available on YouTube. You could have a look at that. Ashwini says certification courses that help non-tech roles. Yeah, I think we've already answered that question. Keshav says, yes, Solana is good. Yeah, okay. Karthik says that I'm a tech guy and I want to pursue the analyst side. How can I move forward? So for DeFi analyst, again, I've written a very detailed post on that. And again, just go to Insta, you'll see this series of posts I made where I went deep into DeFi analyst, what exactly their role is, what are the skills required. So just go through that and it'll give you all your answers, Karthik. Okay, Sumit, no, okay. Okay. Bhupendra says, I did some certification courses and I possess good knowledge of Agile Scrum methodology. Okay, that's good. Sigma, Six Sigma, Kanban. But most of the recruiters give priority those who have a technical degree. So, Bhupendra, have you tried at reaching out to some of the ones which are here in the Web3.career site? I'm sure there you'll find a lot of people who don't insist on the tech part. But before that, let me quickly share my screen. Give me a second. And let me tell you what I want you guys to focus on. Just give me 1 second. Right? 1 second. Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen? And it should say 5-step action plan to land a Web3 job. Can you just, yeah, okay, great. So let me explain what is very important for you guys to do. So first step is to attend online and offline meetups, conferences, mentoring programs, and events, right? So now, in fact, in the comments here, I want to know from you guys. So are you regularly attending these kind of online and offline events? Like in your city, whenever there is a meetup, do you attend it? Or when it is online, do you attend it? So can you just give me a yes or no in the comments? Awesome. And if you're not attending, you can just write no. There's nothing to feel embarrassed. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so first of all, see, most of these events are going to be free, but it's a very good way to network with the project teams because you'll realize most jobs and consulting opportunities happen one-to-one when you go to such kind of events, right? So, Vivan says offline no, online yes. Okay, ideally you should do both. I mean, if possible, start online, offline also, because when you meet people face to face, I think that builds better relationships. Of course, online is also important, but you have to do this. If you don't do this, you're losing out big time. So go and attend, like for example, all the big crypto projects, they have a lot of events in India. Of course, usually these events would probably happen more in Bangalore and Hyderabad, less in other cities. It doesn't, you could even travel to Bangalore for this. That's the way to start networking. And remember one thing, whenever you meet somebody, right, you have to then immediately connect to them on LinkedIn. So are all of you guys who are attending my program connected to me on LinkedIn? Okay, your answer should be yes. Okay, if it's not yes, then you need to make sure you connect, right? Because that's how then you stay in touch with people. So whenever you meet somebody, immediately go and connect to them on different social media platforms. Prakash says, I live in a small town in UP very far. See, now Prakash, you got to understand one thing. If you want to make a career in Web3, sooner or later, you're going to have to start to move out, because when you are in a small town, you're not going to be meeting the right kind of people regularly. You will not grow as much as you would if you were, say, in a place like Bangalore. So I think you really need to think deep about it. And maybe it's time that you made a move to a place like Bangalore. I would still say Bangalore, because when it comes to Web3, I mean, when it comes to software, Bangalore rules. And then, of course, second would probably come Hyderabad. I'm from Pune, but Pune is nothing compared to Bangalore when it comes to tech. So you seriously need to think about moving maybe. Yagnadeep says Bangalore has a lot of Web3 meetups. In fact, there is a meetup next Friday in Bangalore only for students. So that's a very good one. So Prakash, maybe you could consider, traveling for a few events also. Yagnadeep, that sounds good. Would you be able to post the link for this event on the chat here so other people who are students can attend that? Uh, Tushar says yes, and I messaged you today regarding a course. Okay, that's cool. Tushar, I'll definitely reply to you. I'm sorry if it takes me some time to reply. So, I mean, give me at least a week, 10 days to reply on LinkedIn. I mean, I'm sorry, I get a lot of messages, so I usually do that once a week. Akshay says, I've been a recent follower, loving your LinkedIn post. Thanks so much. I'm a B2B SaaS PM, and I've been founder previously with tech background. In addition to internet and few articles written on use cases, speculations, what extra does it take to become a Web3 product manager? So Akshay, what I would say is maybe, start to connect to these different teams. And I don't think there's anything else you need to do. I mean, you already seem skilled and qualified for this. So now it's just a question of getting your first assignment. So, those are the 5 steps I just want to quickly tell you guys about. So the first one, connect, go to these online, offline conferences, and then connect with people on social media. Second is to share high value, interesting content on social media. See, going to social media and putting links to articles written by other people is not going to help. You need to write it, and it needs to be high value. It needs to, because see, ultimately think of it this way. Suppose I am a prospective employer and I read your post. Does it make me feel that you are better than other people at your level of experience or seniority? So it needs to be high value, and that's the best way of getting noticed by people. So, and I would say obviously LinkedIn is the number one platform for this. And then second would probably be Instagram. And then you could also look at Twitter and other platforms. Reddit is pretty good. Discord, but then Discords are of each project separate. So I would say the simplest and the best to begin with is LinkedIn. Are all of you guys regularly posting on LinkedIn? And when I say regular, I mean at least 3 times a week. Could someone tell me? Quick yes if you are publishing at least 3 times a week to LinkedIn. Anyone? Could you answer that? Are you guys able to hear me? Okay, so Ashwin says no, Shubham says no, Vivan says no, okay, Tushar is yes. Okay, most of you are saying no. So now I want you guys to think about this. Why are you not posting on social media? I mean, why not? Right? There's no cost to it. You have to take some time out to do it. I mean, I'll be very honest. I start my day, at least 1 hour a day goes in simply posting on social media. So, I run quizzes and I post different kinds of content, and then you repurpose some of your content also. So I think it's pretty important for us to post regularly. And LinkedIn is the most important when it comes to professional networking. So I want you guys to do it. Do you guys want me to do a session on how to post on social media and how to make your social calendar and all that? Is that something you guys want to learn about? Okay, that sounds interesting. Let me just note it down. Let's plan this. Uh, Just give me a second. Okay, so I'll do a. So Vivan says community building in Web3 would be interesting. Sure, Vivan, that's also a good idea. Let me do a session on that also. So good. Vishay says yes, we should start. So definitely, I want you guys to start writing. So Vivan says a lot of work to type stuff out. No, Vivan, you actually don't need to. I'm sure you have a Mac. Mac has a built-in feature where you dictate and it just types for you. And Google also, I think, has a feature for this. And they're really good with recognizing Indian accents. So, Vivan, if you don't like typing, you don't have to type. You can speak in, the computer will type for you, do your corrections, and you're good to go. So, I hope, Vivan, I'm going to see you posting more regularly. Okay. Karthik says, how long? Okay, Karthik, just. Okay, Karthik, I don't know your questions. How long will there be a boom in Web3 jobs? When there will be saturation? I think blockchain and Web3 is so new. I don't think we are going to see a saturation for many, many years to come. I mean, it's just starting, right? This field is very new. I would say next few years, I don't foresee any problem in that. I mean, we're just starting. What are your views on token economics will affect stock market trading? Ganesh. So Ganesh, for token economics, I'm doing a very special session. So maybe at that time, we'll go deeper into that. Prakash says, would you accept me as an intern? So Prakash, are you the one who was trying to create that thing using learn tokens, which I gave as an assignment? Are you the same person? Yeah, Prakash, give me a day or two. I'll send you learn tokens in your MetaMask. Then you complete the project, send it to me, and I'll take you on as an intern, definitely. Okay. Ritesh says, can you throw some light on topics that would be covered in the executive pro? So Ritesh, next Friday's session is how to build a career in blockchain law. So I'm going to go very specific into blockchain law. So if you can attend that, it'll be next Friday. So now onwards, every Friday, I'm going to be doing a career related kind of an event. It's just that instead of this time, it's going to be at 3 p.m. But it's going to be every Friday. So I look forward to seeing you guys there also. Okay, from LinkedIn, someone asked, I work as BDE in CoinStore, Singapore-based exchange. Okay, and right now I want other job to explore more things about blockchain. So when you say BDE, could you tell me what exactly that means? Does it mean business development executive? So if you could just answer that. Okay. Karthik says, since how long they will be, okay, we've done that. Okay. Okay, so Vishay says you're saying hiring some interns. When can we apply? So what I'm looking for right now are some tech interns. So I'm building a lot of very interesting things, and I want some interns to work on that. So you guys also get good practical experience, which can help you get better jobs in future. So the assignment is very simple. I want you to create a web page which will check. So it'll use MetaMask, and the moment the page opens, it'll ask you to connect to MetaMask. And then depending upon the number of learn tokens you hold, it will show you some message. So let's say you have 200, it'll give you a particular message. Less than that, it should give you another message. So I want you to make that and send me. If you can make that, then you qualify for that internship. Akshay says, what are your favorite topics in Web3? NFT, DAO, mining, MEV, oracles. So honestly, my favorite would be token economics, because that's something I've been doing for many, many years. And I mean, I enjoy that a lot more than I enjoy tech. So token economics would be my most favorite topic. Ritesh says, in the current Web3 job market, are there many full-time DeFi analysts or token economical jobs? Or are they? Okay. So Ritesh, that's a very good point. So remember, in token economics, usually it is better to be a consultant to a project, because the token economist's main job is right at the beginning. So, we are the people who are going to tell that project what kind of token model are we going for? Like, are we going for deflationary, inflationary, asset-backed, or dual token? Then what is the kind of system? Is there going to be mining, staking, yield? All that we are going to talk about. Then how the vesting and other things would happen. All that is required in the beginning of the project, not really so much after that. So usually, as a token economist, you can get up to 1% of the entire tokens of that project as your salary or payment or whatever you want to say. Of course, there are some projects who will give you money upfront, but I think it's always better to go with a 1% upfront. So if you are confident and you feel that project makes sense, go for a 1% token, and yes, you can get that, right? So that's usually a better way of doing it. Prakash says, I wanted to ask what's MetaMask address? Does that mean the address of? Yeah. So Prakash, in MetaMask, you can create unlimited addresses, and any one of them you can give, and it works across all the EVM chains. So that address works on Binance Smart Chain also, and it works on Ethereum also. It works on so many things. So it's not just the first account. All the different accounts that you create in MetaMask, it's your address for all those EVM blockchains. Karthik says best resource to learn token economics. Yeah, Karthik, just wait for a few days. I'm designing a program, and in fact, tomorrow I'll be publishing the syllabus for that. So just wait till tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Akshay says we'll have a token economics session learning how to. Yeah, sure. Akshay, I'll plan that out very soon. Jobs for students starting MBA in IT. Okay. So if you're pursuing MBA in IT and FinTech, are you talking about an internship while you're doing this, or are you like passing out now? So whoever has posted that, can you tell me? Like if you're doing MBA in IT and FinTech, are you like passing out, or you're still in, say, in the first year? Accordingly, I'll answer that question. Anyway, coming back here, so this was step 2. Then let's look at step 3. Now, step 3 is where you actively participate in Discord, Reddit, Telegram, and other channels of Web3 projects. So now suppose, you've identified which are the good projects that you want to work with. Now you go into their Discord, into their Reddit, Telegrams, and start contributing. So put up useful information, volunteer to help, like I volunteer with the Bitcoin project, where I volunteer to translate the Bitcoin white paper into Hindi. So there's a bunch of people doing that. You don't get paid for it. I'm not even doing it to network, but I just want the Bitcoin white paper to be available in Hindi, right? But similarly, you could go to projects that you like. I love the Bitcoin project. So I love to volunteer and do free stuff there. So identify good projects that you want to work with and then participate in their Discords. So again, I have a question for you guys. Have you ever gone into the Discord of any of the projects? Quick yes or no? Can I have more answers? Okay, that's nice. Most of you are saying yes. Amazing. So very good. Okay, so someone says Polkadot. Ritesh says Discord seems complicated. It is. It's quite a messy looking thing, but it's important because almost every crypto project has Discords. So figure out how to use it and then start contributing regularly, right? So Ganesh, you could just Google for Discord of Polkadot, Polygon. So many of them have good Discords. So start connecting with them. That's another very good way of building connections. Akshay says my problem is I love every other DAO project. So no problem, Akshay. If you like 50 projects, there's no harm in going to the Discords of all 50 and maybe once a week doing some kind of communication with them. I mean, that's how you will build your contacts. And then make sure everybody you meet on Discord, connect to them on LinkedIn also. Prakash, your MetaMask address, can you send it to me directly? Like, you can just email it to me, rohasnagpal@gmail.com. I mean, on any social platform, I'm Rohas Nagpal, so you can just post it there. Akshit says snapshot to be referred for the same. I'm not sure, Akash, what do you mean by that? Okay. Then after step 3, let's go to step 4, which is internships, right? So you must do an internship unless you already have a lot of work experience, right? And now when it comes to internships, don't bother about the stipend. Make sure you get practical experience. So in my case, I give 10,000 rupees a month as a stipend. I mean, I know it's not much, but I can't afford to give more than that because I do have multiple interns at any given point of time. So what you must look for is what is the experience I'm getting, right? So intern with a project that you actually want to work for. So if you are very bullish on L1, then do an internship with an L1 project, not an L2 project. So try to find a project very close. Or if you want to work with DAOs, then intern with DAOs, right? So find something relevant who you want to actually intern with. And then make sure you get a good internship where you learn something practical, right? That's really important. Okay. Any questions on this part? Internships is fairly easy. Again, sites like web3.career will tell you a lot of the internships. And finally, these are the sites that I want you to note down. They're good sites which have a lot of good opportunities. So web3.career, I shared a lot of screens with you. Cryptocurrencyjobs.co also has some good listings on it. Remote3.co is good. LinkedIn, of course, is very good. In LinkedIn, there are many groups also. You know, there are direct groups for Web3 jobs. So you could join those also. Indeed, again, has some good opportunities. Fiverr is if you're and Upwork is usually if you're looking for freelance kind of opportunities, right? So those are good. Akshit says snapshot can be referred. So I'm not aware of what snapshot is. Can you share the URL of that, Akshit, with everyone here? I'll also have a look at it. Kumar says jobs for students pursuing MBA in IT and FinTech as internships. Okay. So one is, of course, you could try, there is something called the Gift City in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, where there is a special regulator called IFSCA, International Financial Services Center Authority. That's one place you should try to get an internship with because they are controlling a lot of the FinTech things which are happening in India. So one option is you could try to get an internship with a government department, like even RBI you could try. So that is one. Or second is then you try for some of the good fintech startups, whether it is right from Paytm to so many, there are hundreds of fintech startups in India. In fact, fintech startups, a lot of them are in Pune also, surprising. Bombay, of course, would be probably one of the best places. Then again, in Delhi, you have the NCR region, tons and tons of the fintech startups are there. So I think that's where you could apply for internships. And even web3.career has a lot of remote internships which are listed. So these are the 5 steps that I want you guys to focus on. And we've also discussed a lot of the other different kinds of opportunities. Ritesh says, people who are already working in industry and have a couple of years of other work experience, how can they get exposure for career shift? Do you provide any time? Ritesh, no. As of right now, I don't really have that. But yeah, it's a good concept, but no, I don't have such projects. Any courses for project manager in blockchain? I'm not aware of any course for that. I'm aware that there are PMI and other such organizations which do project manager related certifications. I don't know if they are specific to Web3 or they are more generic in nature, but I think you could check out the PMI site and others for such kind of certifications. Here's my link if you wish to connect and collab on PM. Sumit's link. Okay. So Sumit has posted his LinkedIn profile here. So any of you guys who want to connect to him, please do that. So that's a good thing. Any other questions you guys have? So like I said, next Friday, we will do a session on how to build a career in blockchain law. You don't have to be a lawyer for that, although that's always preferred, but even CA, CS, and a lot of other people can get into that, compliance and other such issues. After that, I'll be doing one specifically on, so we'll be doing one on token economics. So how to build a career in token economics. So just keep following me on Creator so you get notified of all these sessions. Kumar says how to apply for internship in IFSC and RBI. So again, what you could do is you go to their websites and usually you will find government departments listed there. So for example, there is even something like the insolvency, I forgot the full name, IBBI it's called, Insolvency Board of India or something. So Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, they take a lot of interns. The Competition Commission of India takes a lot of interns. So all these departments, they list the internships on their websites. So if you go there, you will be able to find this. Okay, Vivan says all followers would have gotten a message regarding this. Yeah, Vivan, thanks for that. Akshay says, is law and token economics related? No, not at all. So token economics has got everything to do with the financial aspects of the economics of it. Law is totally different. Law deals with the compliances and the things. So they're very different. So we'll discuss that. Abhishek says, please plan a masterclass on token economics. Yes, I'm doing that. So tomorrow I'll be declaring the syllabus for this and then I'll be telling you about how we are going to do this particular course. Okay. Akshay has shared the link for Snapshot, so I'll have a look at it. Definitely. And I'll let you know how that goes. Yeah. Any other questions you guys have? Okay, lovely. It was a nice 45-minute chat we've had. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on social media, or like I said, I'll be doing these kind of career sessions every Friday, 3 o'clock. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. And Prakash says, I've sent you my metaverse. Awesome. Thanks for that, Prakash. Thanks, Ritesh. Most welcome. Uh, Karan has asked for my opinion on pooled together. I'm so sorry, Karan, but I forgot to look at it last time. Let me just open it up. Give me a second. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I had seen this. I'm sorry. I had seen this. So on the face of it, pool together sounds really cool to me. I mean, it says that you can, pool together your savings, but I'll be very honest, I've not used it. So unfortunately, I won't be able to comment much. I did see it, but I haven't used it yet. Yeah. Okay. See you guys. Bye-bye.